Hello again, and thanks for joining. So we've got a locomotive to have a look at today. I've been doing a lot of rolling stock recently, so it's good to have a look at a loco for a change. This one is from Roco International, and you can see it's a BR169. The model number here is 4128B, and it was first produced way back in 1975, would you believe? Production ran through to 1984, and it came in two different varieties. This has ROT, which means red, well, in German anyway. And there was also a green one, which was the original finish for this model, and it later got this red colour. Sometimes towards the end of its service life, this locomotive ran from about the 1970s to the 1980s. We've already had a look at one of these from Fleischmann a little time ago, and it seemed to be a bit overscaled for HO scale. I'm hoping this one will be more prototypical, and it's also going to be pretty small. So it could be a lot of fun. Let's get this open and we'll check it out. So this model has still got its instruction sheet included in the box, and what we're seeing from this is it actually has overhead pickup as well, which is quite incredible for such a small locomotive. All this is in German though, there's no English, but it does show down here how you can run two locomotives on the same track, one with overhead pickup and one just with normal two-rail pickup. So it's great to see that this was a feature of this model. And here is the little locomotive. It's certainly a lot smaller than the Fleischmann one I looked at, so I'm guessing this must be in scale. But already I see a bit of a problem with this, and if I give it a push, you'll see what it is. And it doesn't seem to have any drive on the wheels. I don't know what's happened there. It does have a motor inside it, so we're going to have to open this up and check it out. But let's look at this a bit closer up and check out the details on this model. So it's certainly a very appealing little locomotive, this one. I love these handrails that have been added on. These are plastic pieces which have been put onto the main moulding. And we also have these little hatches here in silver added pieces again, and we've got them on both ends. It doesn't have any lighting here, we just got some silver in these lamps. But the printing is really good, and I like the colour of red. It seems to be a two-piece moulding. We've got the darker grey down here. This one is missing the coupling at the front here, but if you look at the other end, it does have a coupling fitted on here, and they just seem to be screwed on, although it looks as though we have different screws on each end. So this is a model that's been, let's say, well loved by the previous owner. The printing on the side of this looks pretty good. It's got the DB logo there, the number, and we've got some smaller writing as well. And I like these panels here. They look very realistic in the moulding. I like the grille effect as well. We have a yellowed window up here. I think that might be from age. I have seen this happening on older locomotives. They usually start off clear and then the plastic just degrades over time. So we do have this yellow effect. But it does kind of help a little bit because you can see that we've got a whole bunch of electrical gear inside there. It's a very small locomotive, so you can expect to see something inside the cab, but certainly not any prototypical interior. We've got a little horn up here, I think it is, which has got some grey paint on it because the roof is painted grey. It's got a fair degree of dust on that roof as well. I've had to give this a bit of a clean even before I started this video, so I don't know what's been happening with this model. I guess it's been around for some time, but it's certainly looking a bit grubby. The roof is dominated by this pantograph, which is made out of metal, and it operates still. It's very springy and it looks pretty good. And we saw in the instructions that you can pick up electricity through this, through the overhead wires if you've got that on your layout. Looking a bit further down, this is a one-piece moulding, and there is a lot of detail on here. I like this spring detail, lots of rivets, these steps coming down, and there's a lot of nice deep relief. It's not the best moulding in the world, but it's certainly got a lot of features on it. And then looking underneath, we have these wheels. They're very silver, and unfortunately they're just revolving themselves. So I'm going to have to open this up in a minute and have a look and see what's happened. You can see Roco made in Austria printed underneath there too, but not a lot of detail on that part. It's all hanging off the plastic pieces, which, you know, to be fair, do look really good. So it's certainly a little model that has a lot of appeal. But let's see if we can get this open and check out what's happened to the motor and the drive. Well, we've got all manner of problems going on with this model. We do have overhead pickup. You can see underneath there is a little screw, which I think transmits the power from above down onto the first part of the circuit, and that's this piece here. So the power would come down onto here, and we have this little selector here which can go between two-rail pickup or overhead pickup depending on which way you put that. You just operate that through the little hole in the roof of the locomotive. But you can see we have a problem here. This piece is still attached, but we have a random wire here which is broken off. But by far and away the biggest problem is that we've got a set of wheels put into here which don't actually have any gears on them. So this isn't ever going to run, and I need to source some new gear wheels as well. The previous owner has added in this huge big screw here, which is a bit unfortunate, and it seems to have mashed a little bit of the body shell here. And here we have the motor, and it seems to be not too bad. It is a little bit dirty, you can see that down there. But apart from that, at least it's complete. I wonder whether this is still going to run. I'll clean up this first, and then we'll see if we can get some power to it and see what happens. Well, it's still pretty dirty even though I gave it a bit of a clean, but it does run, which is great. So at least that's something that's going for this model. But what's not good is that the larger screw has actually split the chassis here, and it's just holding on together at the back here. So that's a bit of a shame. It's okay when it's pressed together and inside the model, but you can see that there is that problem with it here. It also looks like when I took it apart that this piece here was just in the wrong place, because this is actually a pickup from the axles and it should fit underneath here, underneath the motor. And then we have pickup here from this side, and there should be another one here which has fallen off. Got it here. So that would have to fit onto there. But that's all immaterial really, because we don't have the gear wheels on these wheels, and I don't believe that these actually came with this model. So I'm a bit stuck at the moment with this. I'm going to have to try and find a set of wheels. So I'll come back to this at some point in the future, and hopefully we can get this back together.
One eternity later.
Well, some time has passed since that first part of the video, because I've actually ordered up some pieces for this model. So I've actually managed to get some from China, and they have the gear here, which is actually going to be a bit of a problem because we need the gear in the middle. So on this one I've just pushed it into the middle, and I'm just going to hope for the best with that. I think maybe I'll need to put a little bit of super glue or something just to hold it there. I know you're probably going to be screaming in the comments I shouldn't do that, but I don't think I've got much of an option here because I can't get the parts from Roco to fix this. So I'm going to give it a go with these wheels. The chassis as well, I've just glued it back together. I'm just holding it here until the glue dries. I just used a bit of Humbrol poly cement. I'm not sure if it's actually going to work. I think it's not very good that we've had those big screws put in by the previous owner, so I'm not quite sure if this is going to hold up, but we'll cross that bridge a bit later once we get the model actually running. And we've also got some soldering to do. This piece here I think just fits on the back of here and is soldered on, so I'm going to have to put that on as well. And you know, my soldering's terrible, so that might start a massive fire, you never know. Let's give it a go. God, my soldering sucks. I managed to get it on there, but I obviously burnt the chassis a little bit because it's made of plastic. Well, anyway, it's on there. Right, let's get on to the next bit. So I'm thinking the way this picks up is that the little sliders here slide onto the inside of one of these wheels. And we've got this other pickup, which I think just picks up from the axles. So I'm going to have to get these wheels in the same way, but I've just realised that we've got a traction tyre on these wheels, which weren't actually specified when I bought them. So I'm going to have to take that off so that it can actually pick up from this wheel. And just looking at the other wheel that I bought at the same time, it doesn't have a traction tyre fitted. So I guess that's one of the risks you take by buying stuff from China, that sometimes you don't get what you actually asked for. But for now, we can crack on like this. This one here on the left has no traction tyre anymore, so I'll just put that in and see if I can get it running. It's not ideal, but I guess I could order another set of these wheels, but it just takes so long for them to come that for now, I think we'll just crack on. Okay, so this seems to be working. I've got one of the wheels in already. This is the other one. Okay, so that seems to be connecting pretty well to the side of the wheel on this side, closest to the camera. So now we've got to get the metal contact which goes on the axles in here. I think it goes something like that, and then the base plate goes on top. Well, I'm going to give it some power and see what happens. It'd be an absolute miracle if this works, but we'll see. This wire here is obviously still needing to be connected, so I've got to solder that on. I think it connects up here, so maybe if I just touch onto that, it will work. Well, I totally didn't expect that, but it does actually seem to be working, so that's incredible. So let's get the rest of this together. I need to put the body back onto it and put this up inside the cab, and then just solder that onto this point here. So I think we need to put this piece back on first. So let's see how this is going. Well, it's not too bad. I suppose it's holding it together. So it just clipped back onto it. There's a little clip at the front here and here. So with that on, I think we can now attach this onto here. And we need to solder this wire onto here. Well, I'm not going to win any soldering competitions, but at least the wire's on. Let's give this another try. So one of the things we need to do now is get the body to stay on the chassis, because those screws that were put into it were just massively too big. And I don't have a lot of confidence in this is actually going to work, but let's give it a try. Just realised I've forgotten to put the weight back in it as well, so I've taken it apart again and I'm putting the weight in now. And that explains the little hole in the top here which screws onto here as well. I forgot about that completely. I actually managed to find a little bolt that will fit into here as well because that was missing, so let's get this together. So the next problem is the screws underneath, so I think this one is going to work okay. I don't actually think that's the original, but it does work okay. But I'm going to have to add this little tiny washer onto it to hold the coupling in place. And we only have one of these, unfortunately, at the moment. I don't know how I'm going to be able to manage to get another one of these. I might try and 3D print something at least, or just leave it for the time being. But I also need another one of these bolts, and I managed to find this one in the spares box, which is the same kind of length, and it seems to fit okay into the body. Next step is just to screw it all together. Okay, the washer was too big, so I've managed to find a smaller one, so I'm going to do it again, and I've got another spare one as well for the other end. Well, incredibly, I've actually managed to get this back together, and it looks not too bad at all, but I guess we need to see if it still works, so let's put it back on the test track. Well, in all honesty, I just cannot believe I've actually managed to get this fixed. And if you're a regular on this channel, you know how dodgy some of my fixes can be and how they always seem to end up going wrong. But this one actually worked pretty well, and I'm quite astonished. So Roco's model of this BR169 is quite a cute looking thing, and I think they've done pretty good to pack so much into this model. Obviously there's some problems with not having an interior because you've got the circuit board sitting up there, and that's really only there because it's got the overhead pickup if you want. But that's quite incredible for a model of this size to have that feature. I guess if you didn't have that on your railway layout, you could do away with that circuit board and just have the cable going straight to the motor, and then I guess you could 3D print an interior or put a driver figure in it. But it's certainly been a lot of fun to fix up this locomotive. I didn't burn down the house when I was doing my soldering, and even though it says made in Austria underneath, it's now made in Austria, and a bit of it made in China as well. So it lives again, and long may it continue to do so. It's a lovely looking locomotive, and it's got bags of character as well, and it seems to run really good on the track now as well. But what do you think about this little loco? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to know your thoughts. And if you liked this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. It really helps this channel. I'll put this on the turntable so you can see all the way around, and the icon that's going to appear in a moment is another video I've done. Just click on that and I'll see you there. But that's it for this one. Thanks for watching me fix up this locomotive, and I'll see you on the next one.
So model train, model words, choo choo, model trains, tiny train, in tiny worlds, choo choo, model trains, tiny train, model words, choo choo, model trains, tiny train, in tiny worlds, choo choo.